click the links to alternative video platforms or sports channel. Okay, so this guy got triggered. I guess I read this. I guess I got a little triggered also. This kvetching comedian who's worried about losing control of the narrative, which in YouTube title translates into like capital letters, hack nobody blasts Dave Chappelle for his transphobic hate speech. The real title would be like some mental nut job, self-loathing, probably alcoholic comedian is triggered that his tribe of Marxists is losing control of the narrative. Are they losing control? Yes. Yeah, I'm sure this guy's in therapy, like not just once a week, but like I'm sure he's on the twice a week plan. Yeah, the older crowd, I don't know, like over 60 is watching the Idiot Box, and they might be on like the mainstream Facebook social media, so they're getting like the narrative. But as they kind of age out of that propaganda, and thank God the TV is losing power. But also, like Facebook is, I mean, obviously Facebook's, it's like if they go, oh, you know, a screen is a screen. It's like you make fun of TV and you know, these people spend all the time on social media. Not really, because even though the filters are heavily in place and people get banned left and right, you still get... it's a dialogue. It's not a monologue. Where TV, it's like they're just like CNN is just broadcasting, like the Wisconsin incident. Like that's already off CNN's mainstream circulation. It's like that, like the Kyle Rittenhouse was in the news for a year, and the Wisconsin tragedy is already off their main page. It's like, that's insane. Yeah, that's CNN. That's like they have total control. I mean, this is also why CNN is slowly dying. But the people who are paying attention to that are aging out, and they realize like, oh, the media's been lying to us the whole time. Like even you go to Facebook, it's like you will get diversity of opinion on Facebook and even on Twitter, because like the filter just doesn't catch everything. And then like the real diversity of thought is going to be like on Gab and Telegram and Discord and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and then the younger you go, they kind of branch out into alt media, Gab, Infowars, Odysee, and there's just dozens of websites that, especially now, there's a ton of right of center websites. Like there's always been the normie mainstream right of center websites like Gateway Pundit and Post Millennial. It's like, those are controlled ops normie, but I'm seeing a ton of small websites that are like real right-wing conservative websites pop up, which is a trip. Like this next 3 years of Biden, if you're on the right and you want to do something in social media, it's just the time to make a website or get an Odysee and a Bit Chute and a Gab channel. Anyway, so this idiot is concerned that comedians aren't staying on the plantation. Almost 100% of mainstream entertainment is woke, which roughly translates as globalist anti-white propaganda. Doesn't it seem odd that there doesn't seem to be diversity of thought in entertainment? Every punchline is Trump and white people. Am I right? The rare occasion a Dave Chappelle says, F it, it makes the gatekeepers lose their freaking minds. It's okay to think different. You can disagree with the mainstream media narrative. You can be Team TERF if you wish to be. It doesn't make you. It just makes you have a divergence of thought. Doesn't it seem like more diversity of thought should be respected? Do you really want to march in step with everyone? And so this and like, don't you feel like you're being manipulated if like, oh, hey, we're going in this direction. Like 95% of us are all in this direction. It's like, this is the mainstream that you see on TV. It's like, wait, are we being manipulated? Oh, yeah, maybe we are. So this Maron guy says he wanted freedom to do comedy his way, which just happens to be the exact same way the puppet masters told him to do it. The way that 99% of everyone else in comedy is doing it also. Like, you're not the rebel. Are we the bad guys? Yeah, you guys are the bad guys. You're not stunning and brave. You're not the rebels. You're just a puppet for these idiots. So he wanted total comedic freedom. How do you even say that to yourself? He's got a podcast where he just showed his ass. Like, you want total comedic freedom, but you're agreeing with everyone else in the mainstream. You don't like raise your hand and like catch yourself. You're just saying stupidity out loud. Like, the hypocrisy doesn't wake you up at all. Like, there's no one in that podcast booth with you to look at you like, hey, homeboy, you talking out your, like, we're all in lockstep in the same agreement. Like there's diversity of thought on the right, and on the left, it's just absolutely verboten. He doesn't have comedic freedom because he's on the plantation like everyone else in the mainstream. If they want to work, they stay on the plantation. They have zero self-awareness and awareness, where every joke is Trump and Orange County types. He says anti-woke comedy is a team, and teams are bad when they're counter to the woke narrative. He's on Team Woke. They're 99% of entertainment. For these people, their Achilles heel is like a lack of self-reflection. He's on the team that controls the narrative, and he thinks the tiny minority of anti-comedians, anti-woke comedians, are the ones who are on the team. It doesn't even make sense. Like, even other people on the left should be looking at you and like, dude, dial it back a little bit. I mean, like, just like when the lies are so obvious, a child is raising their hand and wondering about it. This is cognitive dissonance at a level is impossible to comprehend. At this point, I think it's a genetic impairment with the woke crowd. Oh, honest, I better skip that. How do they think the rebellious 1% of anti-white comedians are on a team and they're not on the team? It's the I'm something of a fucking moron myself. 99% of comedians are in left-wing Marxist lockstep, and they don't see that they're the bad guys, or at the very least, they don't see that they're on the plantation of limited ideas. It's a controlled ops spectrum of allowable discourse. The right has it with like Rubin and Shapiro, and the left has it with almost everyone on the left, except very rarely for the black left, who will occasionally break out of the box a little bit with the, space globalist type of humor. So you're a comedian, but black, POC, Muslim, Jew, BLT, otherkin, Biden, the Democrats, and, any cause du jour. That's all off limits. Yeah, that's all off limits. And you guys are okay with that. Oh, yeah. Marginalizing the press. So what do you joke about? Oh, we joke about white Christian men, blonde women, blonde Karens, blonde people, blonde blue-eyed people. Oh, that sounds incredibly fucking lame. Which it is. Which is why whatever they're involved in is absolutely going to crap. Have you noticed movies over the past few years, these past 2 years in particular, during the gift from overseas, they suck a bag of dicks. Almost all of them. Even the ones that are kind of like soft hits, you watch them like, 2 years ago you'd say this is a bomb, and now you're all free guy. It's a fun movie. It's not really. I mean, it was doing a little They Live thing. It's like you could have went there. You could have really made a hit, and like you could have had a Joker level hit if you wanted to. It's like, no, you just made this plastic fuck doll peak Weimar piece of garbage. Every decade, you got to go back further and further to find stuff that doesn't suck. And like, as a red pill gets deeper and deeper, it's like Stan in the South Park, where he wakes up one day and he realizes that everything's gone to shit. Treating people equally means that you don't have sacred cows. Treating people equally means that you treat people equally. Oh no, we can't do that. Well, then you're not treating people equally. You want to elevate some people and attack other people. Yeah, that's what we want to do. That makes you guys the bad guys. No. Yes. There's no way to not make you the bad guys in that scenario. If you believe in the concept of oppressed, marginalized, disenfranchised people, which is Marxist doublespeak anyway, this is all like Moses Mordecai Levy doublespeak, then literally every group is off limits. Yes, even white Christians can be oppressed, marginalized, and whatever, disenfranchised. And here's the thing. They don't actually believe in these concepts. They literally don't. They just hate white people. All the Marxist doublespeak of existential praxis, dialectic dogma, it's just nonsense to lead to a pre-selected conclusion. Usually it's issue, rule, analysis, conclusion, or whatever the scientific method. You start with an idea and you work through and you replicate experiments, and can other people reproduce the experiments? Then you might be on the path to something. And then you reach a conclusion, and then someone else might disprove it or improve it. These people start with the conclusion, and then they twist the argument or the experimentation phase to get the conclusion, no matter how much they have to twist into like illogic loops. It doesn't matter, like scientific method goes out the window, or the legal analysis Iraq issue goes out the window. It all goes out the window because they start with the conclusion, and they have they have to reach the conclusion no matter what. And you're like, this doesn't make sense either scientifically or via legal analysis or philosophical analysis. Oh, are you a racist? But like, we've been doing it this way for the past 2,000 years, and now you seem to want to go back to like witch trials and lynch mobs where like your feelings, your truth is the only thing that matters. It's all nonsense. These people are all anti-white. That is a conclusion they want to reach. They will twist the logic in, I don't know, some twisted mathematical topology to get to the conclusion. You're like, this doesn't exist in this real space-time. It only exists in some hyperdimensional other universe. Yes, that's right, but the conclusion is you're racist. Maybe you guys are the bad guys. Have you ever considered that? Maybe these guys? Maybe these guys are just deeply mentally ill, flawed, damaged, broken people. Maybe they're evil too. You know, if you want to get into religion, maybe these people are actually, maybe they're actually evil people. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these people, I'm not saying he's chemically dependent. I shouldn't have said he's got an alcoholic problem. But I mean, a lot of these Hollywood types are like, pharmaceutically enhanced for so long, and they're not even that. I shouldn't have said that. They're so deep in this echo chamber where, like, they sit around with each other, and it's like they're not getting other views. Because as soon as they get an outside view, they immediately label them as a istophobe, and they get rid of them. Like, everyone on the mainstream is all in lockstep with this type of thinking. Maybe you're being manipulated. Anyway, so getting the normie MAGA, developmentally disabled MAGA person to understand this is a challenge, but I also feel that I'm doing the Lord's work in Joker pilling people. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for recent support channel. You can do so on Coffee, PayPal, Crypto, all the others. Join the Odysee, Bit Chute, Gab, Discord. It's a good way to keep in touch. And I will see you guys all next episode.